Welcome to my February TBR. I have a nice big stack of books that I have to read for the month of February, but I also have to play my February TBR game, and that's what we're about to do right now. You remember the rules to my Jenga game. If you don't, and you'll catch on. The goal here is 5 books. I need to pick 5 more books. So here we go. So there's my first one. It's a classic. I'm not gonna pass on a classic. And in fact, I have a classic sitting right here. I just received this in the mail yesterday. I want to read Vivian Grey by Benjamin Disraeli. So more about that in a moment. But I'm gonna pick that as my classic. That was fast. All right, here we go. Oh, it is blank. It is blank. Fiction. Okay. I just received this as well and was hoping I'd get a fiction. I have more fictions in here than anything else, so I thought I had a pretty good chance. And I picked The Divines, and I've already blocked it out for how much to read per day. So I've got The Divines. All right. Goodness gracious. It's blank. Poetry. Okay. Actually, I think I'm going to pass on poetry. A children's book. Exactly what I want. I'm going to read Restless Girls. History. So this might, some people might count this as history. Some people might count it as a biography memoir, but I'm gonna go with Pilgrim Princess, A Life of Princess Zenaida Vlonsky, and I'll explain more about that in a moment. And then I need one more. It is blank. It is blank. Fiction. And I'm going to take it, and this is my last pick, and I am going to pick An Irish Country Girl. So those are my 5, and I used 1 pass, and it didn't fall over. Looking at my stack, you know what? I think this month I'm going to do 6. I'm gonna do 6. So I'm gonna try my chances and do 1 more. Now, because this is an extra, if it falls over, I'm not gonna redo the 5 that I've already picked. But if I can get a 6th book off my shelf, that would be great. It's blank. This one is also blank. Oh my goodness, this one is also blank. Maybe I'm not meant to do 6. Oh, here we go. Fiction. And I'll take it. This one that I'm gonna pick could have been science fiction, could have been fantasy, could have been YA, but it's also fiction. I'm gonna go with Throne of Glass. All right, so we have such a great set of books to read for February. I'm gonna start with the ones that I have to read. So, first on that list on my TBR is Nicholas Nickleby by Charles Dickens. I am reading all of Dickens this year, except for Pickwick Papers, which I read in October for Victober and absolutely fell in love with. So in January, I read Oliver Twist. This month, I will read Nicholas Nickleby. And it is a chunker. I've already figured out how many pages I need to read a day, broken it into sections, but I am excited about that. I think at this point I trust Charles Dickens so much that even though the book is almost 900 pages long, in my edition anyway, I'm not afraid of it. I'm just really looking forward to it. So the next book that I need to read is for a buddy read, for a group read actually on Instagram, and this is the second book in the Barchester, I don't know, the series by Anthony Trollope, and this is the Barchester Towers, book number 2. The Warden was book number 1. It did not thrill me. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this one. Actually, I have 2 months to read this one. It's not gonna take me 2 months, but I'm hoping this will be better. Then I have the second half of Anna Karenina to read. I read the first half in January. The second half I'm reading with a group on Instagram, and we are reading the second half in February. So that is all marked out. I've read all of that and just have this much left to go. And it was supposed to take me 4 weeks to read that first half, and it only took me 2. So I'm sure I will finish this very quickly. And then for the Read Harder Challenge, the Book Riot Read Harder Challenge. I'm reading 2 books a month. There are 24 prompts, so if I read 2 books a month for that, then I will finish them all within the year. And the first one that I am going to read is Music to My Years by Cristela Alonso. She is hilarious. She is one of my favorite stand-up comics. Her Netflix special, I watch it over and over and over again. It is my favorite show to watch when I'm on an airplane. I will download it to my phone and watch it over and over on a flight. Back in the days when we flew places. But yes, so this is for, I believe it's for, or a memoir by a Latinx person. I'm not sure, but I know it fits a category, and this is the book that I picked to fit that category, and I am excited to hear what she has to say. And then for the fanfic category, I am reading Nick by Michael Farris Smith. This is The Great Gatsby, but it is like backstory and through the eyes of Nick Carraway, who is our main character in The Great Gatsby anyway. So I'm interested to know what this book will do and what this book will add. I love this cover though. I love this nod to The Great Gatsby. Then my In Real Life book club is reading News of the World. When this arrived, I was like, oh, that's just a tiny little baby. It's such a small book. And I'm hoping that I will absolutely love it. I am looking forward to watching the movie right after I finish reading it. Love Tom Hanks. knew nothing about the existence of this book until I knew that Tom Hanks was in that movie, was going to watch the movie, and then my book club picked it for the next read. And so I am holding off, excited to read this, might read this first this month, you know, just so I can watch that movie. In the second half of the month, I will be joining Katie at Books and Things in reading Once Upon a River by Diane Setterfield. I have read The 13th Tale, and I know people absolutely love that. It was so-so for me. I've not read any other books by her. I know she has another one. I don't even know what it's called, and I know she has this one. This is on my shelf, though, and when I saw that Katie was going to read it, I thought, yes, I need to do that. So if you want to join that, she's got a Goodreads group. She's also got a video up about it on her channel, Books and Things. And then I also received 2 ARCs that I will need to read this month. One is I'm Waiting for You and Other Stories by Kim Bo-young, and I don't read a lot of short story collections, but I am excited to read this one. I love Korean authors, I love Korean culture, and so I'm excited to read some short stories. I've not read any short stories by Korean authors, and I'm not familiar with Kim Bo-young's work, so I am super excited to read this and very thankful for the advanced read copy, which I received from Harper. Yeah, super excited. I'll let you know how it goes. I also received this from St. Martin's Press, and it is After, a doctor explores what near-death experiences reveal about life and beyond. This is so up my alley, it's not even funny. I love reading about books like this. I love reading books like this, and so really excited to read this. This might be my second book. Super, super happy. My only sadness is that the ARC copy does not have the index included in it. Otherwise, yeah, really excited to read this, and if I love it, I will definitely be buying the copy when it comes out in March. I am reading Throne of Glass, which I was going to read anyway. I was going to start it in January, and so I've already mocked it out for what to read when. I need to read this because one of my former students absolutely loves this book, and we'd get together and talk about books online on occasion, and this is the book that this person has recommended to me. They have read many books that I have recommended to them, and it has taken me a really long time to just go, okay, yeah, I need to read it. This is not any kind of book that I would normally pick for myself, but I trust this student, and I know that they have really enjoyed a lot of the things that I have recommended to them, and so I'm hoping that this cover, which would totally put me off personally, I know a lot of people love it, but this cover that would totally put me off, I'm hoping that the contents of the book are better than the cover for me as a reader. We'll see. But that is a book that I am going to read because of a recommendation from a former student. Then I'm excited to read this one. This one is mocked up from November when I was going to read it, but then got caught up in nonfiction November and wanting to really read Christmas reads, and so I put it to the side. I love this series so much, and this is the 4th book in the series, and it is from the perspective of a different character than we've heard the perspective of before, and I'm really excited to read it. Yeah, this will feel like going home. This will be like a super cozy, wonderful, familiar context and voice, and I'm just really excited to dive back into this. Yeah, been meaning to since November. And then I have this one, which I am going to read because I pulled the history card. I picked this up as a used copy. I don't even think it's in print anymore, because this person is integral in history, in the life of a woman who I've been researching because I'm writing a book about her and her sisters. And so I am going to read this. I think though that this woman is going to be very interesting in her own right. She plays a very small but important part in the lives of the women that I am writing about. And the women I am writing about are not people you would have heard of. And she is probably not someone you might have heard of either, but she was really important in her time and in her society, and she is really connected to a lot of very important people. And so when I found out that there was a biography written about her by Maria Fairweather, bless your heart, I had to have it. And so I saw it on Better World Books, I think, for like $3 and snapped it up, and I'm really excited to read this. It will give me way more information than I need, but if you know me, you know that that's totally fine with me. Then I picked this one, The Restless Girls, for a children's book. And this, I think, is a collection of short stories about the sisters that can't stop dancing, the 12 Dancing Girls, I think. But it's told through what looks like an Indian subcontinent perspective. I'm not positive. I don't know, but I know that I enjoy Jessie Burton as an author, and I'm interested in the story of the 12 Dancing Princesses. So I am going to give this book a try, and I think that it does have beautiful, when I opened it just now I didn't see them, but I think it has beautiful illustrations. Let's see. Yes. That is something I could get lost in for a while. So I am excited to read this. I've actually not taken the cover off, and I almost like that more. Interesting. And then I pre-ordered The Divines, and I was going to read it this month, whether or not it ended up on my TBR. It arrived earlier this month, and oh, did it arrive? It arrived this month in January. I was going to read it in February, regardless of whether it made it on my TBR or not, my official one. So I've already mocked it up for how many pages I need to read a day. And this is The Divines, pre-order. I think it's going to be weird. Heard some people who I really enjoy on BookTube talking about it and wanted to read it. I think it's about a boarding school and some weird happenings. I'm all about boarding schools and weird happenings. And then the last one I have here is Vivian Grey by Benjamin Disraeli. And this is one of those books that's no longer in print, but that is available to be printed. There's no copyright, and so I have tiny little writing to read. But I'm excited to read this. I've been wanting to read this for a while. I know that it's online, and I've tried to read it online, and I just can't do it. Yeah, so I'm excited to read this. And it too has connections to the book that I've been writing. So although they are less concrete connections than the book about this woman. So yeah, get a little research done, do a little reading for fun and purpose. That's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 books. That's not so bad. I read 18 books. I read 17 and a half books last month in January. So I definitely think that we can do this. Yeah, let me know if you have read any of these, if you enjoy any of them, if you have any recommendations of books like them, if you want to join us for any of the reading along things that I'm doing. Yeah, just comment down below, and also check me out on Instagram and on Goodreads and all the other places. They're all linked down below. Yeah, trying to keep it short, so I'll just say, yay reading! Bye.